Welcome to First Issues. A few episodes ago, we started discussing the role of mentorship in helping shape one's desired outcome for the legacy they wish to have. Thus far, we've spoken to two women who've had the opportunity to enroll in a local mentorship program where they were supported to realize their dreams. We started with Tlamelo Magadi, who's a 25-year-old mechatronics engineer and licensed drone pilot. In a following episode, we introduced you to Dr. Carolyn Ghazafeti, whom after a life-changing experience dished her social sciences degree to become a naturopath, where she was able to use information on COVID-19 from her Chinese network of naturopaths to concoct a tea that improves human immunity. This evening, we meet Tsaone Mokwatso, a 28-year-old agro-entrepreneur who's currently pursuing an executive master's in entrepreneurship at the University of Botswana. Tsaone is one of 4 children born to parents who are farmers in Khanzi, but she grew up relocating to many parts of the country until setting up roots here in Gaborone, where she's the maverick she is today. She boasts an advanced diploma in financial management and an honors degree in accounting and finance from the Anglia Ruskin University. In line with these qualifications, Tsaone is now in agro-business where she spends most of her time before attending online classes for her executive master's program. She joins us now via WhatsApp call where she explains how she ended up where she is.
I've always known that I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I remember back in, high school, would get asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'll always be that odd one who'd say, I want to become a business lady. So I grew up with that. And I think also being exposed to just business in the informal sector, from just what I would see my grandmother doing, what I would see my mom doing with her sweets, my grandmother doing with her, traditional beer. I think that is where the spark came from. But as I was growing, even the subjects that I chose, I remember in junior school, I did business studies. And, when we went to high school, I did accounting. So I've always had that love for entrepreneurship, just that I didn't know where to place it in my life and just how to define the role I wanted to play in that whole spectrum of business. It's an interest that I nurtured, and then when I got into university, I opted for a business course. That is where things really started showing themselves up. I remember at one point making sandwiches and selling them, selling biltong, and all that was just to charter the way to becoming an entrepreneur. Because I remember when I was selling in varsity, I had one goal. I wanted, if at all I was going to become an entrepreneur, it had to start where I was at the time.
Tsaone, in your line of expertise and where you wish to see yourself, what have been some of the hurdles that you've encountered, especially as a woman?
I wouldn't say it's because I was a woman, but just general challenges that any human being or any person could really go through. And I guess that is what makes life at the end of the day, the challenges and how you maneuver around them. And for me, the main thing was convincing the people close to me that, look, I want to go a different route. I want to pursue entrepreneurship. It was quite a challenge to convince them and to prove to them that, hey, this is the journey that I'm willing to take. More so that it takes time to see the rewards, and having to convince them that I'm not interested in the conventional way of doing things. They look at you and what you're capable of, and they feel like you're wasting time, you're wasting talent, but your heart, your passion, your desires are totally different from what they have as a perception of you. That was the greatest challenge for me, having to convince those closest to me that, look, I don't want to go the conventional way. I want to do this thing. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to walk the journey, and I'm prepared to walk the journey. The other challenge, just learning how to use the little that you have to start something, and also getting to terms and making peace with the concept of, getting up over and over again when you fail to try again and not giving up. It was a big challenge for me because I thought I can't take this. I mean, why am I moving in circles? Why do I have to keep on going back and redoing it again and again and again? But later on, I realized, but that's how I'll get to perfect the skills. That's how I'll get to meet people who I didn't meet in the first round or the first few rounds of just bringing the concepts together. And having to teach myself a lot of things on my own. It was a challenge because you'd think everything is in black and white, but unfortunately with entrepreneurship, you do the learning yourself. And sometimes it's painful to go through the lessons. It's painful to go through the challenges, especially on your own.
While mentorship programs are nothing new, right? Do you think that people, especially young people, realize the importance?
We are stepping up to leveraging off this whole concept. Maybe we may need to do more with educating our brothers and sisters in rural communities, but I like to believe those who have had the privilege of growing up, with resources availed to them, know and understand the importance of mentorship. And I love how these days we are even embracing mentorship in the modern world, as we see now that we are adjusting in the new normal. We have mentors on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, that people we follow, that people we take advices from, that people who taught us. And sometimes some people are even mentoring us without us being aware that this person is mentoring me. The only challenge I've seen is the mistake we make is we believe mentorship is a one-way street where the mentee only expects the mentor to be the one who's doing the teaching, the learnings and all that. But it's actually a two-way street. As a mentee, there's something I also have to be giving my mentor in return. A tit for tat kind of relationship. The mentor presents opportunities for growth, opportunities for learning, and in return, there has to be how I also add value and fills my mentor's cup.
So what are your future plans, obviously in relation to this path that you've chosen for yourself?
Future plans, I want to feed the world. I want to contribute to food security. And whilst doing that, I want to care for the environment. I want to care for my people, to make sure that whatever they consume will be healthy and will add more life to them and their families. So the future for me is agribusiness, it's resource efficiency, it's value addition, and it's me chartering ways and breaking records for myself, and to pioneer, to dream more, and to be innovative, and to just never look back, to solve problems. So yeah, definitely continue living the dream and just expanding my horizons by exploring and just creating and solving our food challenges across the world.